Hi guys, I'm James Orr, founder of Decisive Trading. Today I want to talk to you about one of the most common scams I see in trading. Now it's important because the more I work with beginners, the more confident I am in saying that this particular scam or falsehood, whatever you want to call it, is the main reason that traders fail. The number one reason why beginners fail. And I've come to that conclusion after working with countless traders and also hearing from countless others through email. Now, I always get comments from this type of scam on my YouTube videos. What I usually do is I simply delete them and then move on. The majority of them are from things like bots, which automatically comment on the videos with these advertisements. But then there's also a portion from people who truly believe what they're saying, I think, and they are usually attacking in some sort of way and trying to show that they are correct and they know what they're talking about. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what I'm talking about first, then I'm going to go over why it is so important to identify and understand, and then I'm going to use simple logic, so very, very simple math, which can't be disputed, to show you why these people are talking absolutely rubbish. They're either not traders, they don't know what they're talking about, or they are just purely scam artists. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about wild expectations in regard to monthly returns with trading. Now, the most common one I see is 100%. You should be aiming for 100% returns per month when you're trading. And I've also had comments, like one of the most recent ones was from someone who said, if you can't make 100% returns per month, you have no business claiming to be a trader. Now, as I've mentioned, what I usually do is I simply delete these comments, but the problem is I am only one person and I'm only one trading channel. These comments get out there all over the place in trading forums, other trading videos, and they sink into beginners' heads. Now, the first thing also is I can't claim to be above this. I think everybody, when they first come to trading, has unrealistic expectations. We look at it in terms of things like the Wolf of Wall Street. We look at it in terms of actual Wall Street and the bonuses we see on the news, and we expect to make bucket loads of money, and we expect to make it very, very quickly. The problem with that attitude is what invariably happens is you end up losing bucket loads of money. There's no way to avoid it. If you are going to be risking too much, so aiming for those 100% returns per month, you are 100% going to end up blowing your account. You are not going to become a full-time trader. It's just not possible. Now, is it possible to make 100% returns in a month? Absolutely. When I was first starting, after about 6 months, I put £2,000 into a trading account. I turned it into £10,000 in, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. So it's possible to make those huge returns. Is it possible to do it for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? Yes. But the problem is, when you're making, or when you're aiming to make 100% per month, you're risking way, way too much to do that. And what is going to happen is 1 month is going to come along where you're going to blow your account. It happens every time. I'm going to, as I've mentioned, I'm going to go through the math of this later in the video, explain exactly why, and prove to you that people who claim that they can do it and that they are doing it and they can show you how to do it are talking absolute rubbish. So what happens is, you make your 100% for a few months, and then the way I look at it is, if you are aiming to make something in a month, or if you can make something in a month repeatedly, so whether that be 10%, 20%, or 100%, on bad months, and we all have them as traders, on bad months, you are likely to lose the same amount that you're aiming to make. So if you regularly make 10% per month, on a bad month, you can expect to lose 10% if you're using good risk management. If you're making 20% per month, on a bad month, you can expect to lose 20%. If you're aiming for 100% per month, it can go fantastically well for 6 months. And then you have 1 month, which is a down month, and everything disappears. You blow your account. It's unavoidable. It's going to happen if you are risking too much money when you are trading. Now, the problem is with these comments and with these people who claim this, it does sink into the head. And as I've mentioned, when I first came into trading, I was the exact same. I expected to make too much money. What happened was I ended up blowing silly amounts of money, got myself into a whole lot of trouble. And it was only when I started to step back and look at the markets properly, look at real professional traders and what they were doing, that I started to become consistent and started to turn it into something that was viable and then became a career. So what are we looking at with these people who are commenting 100% per month? Well, what you have to do is ask yourself a couple of questions, and you can even ask these people these questions and you can very quickly trip them up and prove to yourself they don't know what they're talking about. So the way I look at it is either they are beginner traders commenting this who don't really know what they're talking about, or they are people who maybe still live with their parents and they think because they get up every day and sit at a screen and look at charts, that makes them a full-time trader. And then there's also the portion who are just literally out there trying to scam you, trying to lure you in by that promise of fast money, get you to sign up, get you to give them your money, and then you realize, wait a second, I'm not making 100% per month. I'm not making anywhere near 100% per month. And usually these people are causing you to lose money. So looking at a professional trader, we have to look at a couple of things first of all. Your learning process. When you're learning as a trader, it's going to take you 1 to 2 years. I think that's acceptable. If you're looking at someone who is claiming to know how to trade and claiming to be able to teach you how to trade effectively, you want to know that they've gone through a serious amount of training. So 1 to 2 years. And then if someone is claiming to be a professional trader and they want to teach you how to trade and they claim they can make 100% per month, you want to know they have been consistent for a length of time. You know, not a few months, not 6 months, not a year. I would say if someone has been trading for 2 years, and I mean trading as in full-time trading, full-time consistently profitable, or if they are longer term trading, they've been consistent over those 2 years, not had huge wild drawdowns, then you can start to look at them as a professional. Now, where these people who claim that 100% is possible, and you know, they always have names like Forex Secret Code or Forex Master or some absolutely ridiculous thing like this. Taking that most recent comment that I'm talking about, the guy who said, if you can't make 100% per month, you have no business calling yourself a trader. Now, it's easy for me now to see that comment and sort of laugh and then delete the comment, but the problem is beginners can believe that and be lured in by that. So let's have a look at it logically. And it's really, really simple to do, really simple to prove to you that it's not possible and these people are idiots. Let's say they have their learning period. They're 1 to 2 years learning. You know, they're choppy, they're just getting into their rhythm, they're figuring out how to trade. And then they become consistent. They become consistent and they decide to start trading full time. They only have a relatively small account to start with. You know, an account which really you can't live off of if you are a trader. They start with £2,000. Now they're making 100% returns per month. 2 year period of consistent trading at 100% per month. How much money do you think they would have at the end of that 2 year period? I'll give you a clue. It's more than millions. At the end of 24 months of returning 100% per month on only starting with a £2,000 account, they would have over £33 billion in their trading account. Now let's say they even decide, as they start to become hugely profitable like this, to blow countless amounts of money, live the high life, and they only have 15 billion in their trading account. Just ask the person, have you been trading consistently for 2 years? They're going to say yes, of course they are. And then ask them, why are you not on the Forbes rich list? Very, very simple, very easy way to prove to these people they don't know what they're talking about and that they are talking a lot of rubbish. Because if you can make £33 billion in 2 years, starting with a £2,000 account, first of all, they would be on that rich list. Secondly, they would have been hired by the biggest banks, the biggest investment firms, the biggest hedge funds in the world very, very quickly. But the problem is, it's not possible. Of course it's not possible. Banks spend hundreds of millions of pounds on things like high frequency trading. They have, entire warehouses filled with computers for this high frequency trading, and that doesn't aim to return anywhere near 100% per month because it's not possible. Now let's even say that they say they can return 100% per month, but in reality, with drawdowns, things like that, they're only really returning 50% per month. End of the 24-month period, they would have over £33 million in their trading account. Now let's say again, they splurge half of it, they have £15 million in their trading account, starting with £2,000. Does that sound realistic? Of course it's not realistic because it's not possible. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The problem is that these people push this onto beginner traders, and beginner traders come to the markets with that type of expectation. And what happens is they risk too much and they end up blowing their accounts. They end up losing lots of money. It's not a healthy way to approach trading. Trading is a long-term venture. If you are returning on average between 5 to 10% per month, you are one of the top % of traders. It's as simple as that. And I'm not talking about you can't have a month where you return more than that. I'm talking about evening it up over, say, a 12-month period. If you're returning 5 to 10% per month, you are one of the top 1% of traders. Now, there are traders who return 20% per month, 25% per month, but then they have drawdowns, and those drawdowns take it back down to between the 5 and 10%. On average, some years you'll have better, some years you'll have worse, but you should be aiming for realistic returns. Not 50% per month, not 100% per month. It's not possible. And all that happens is you end up losing that amount on the bad month, and it decimates not only your account, but also your emotional state because you've lost so much money. And then what ends up happening is that huge loss turns into emotional trading. You lose more, and then your account disappears. So I'm pointing this out because, as I've mentioned, the more I work with beginners, the more I get emails from people really that are saying, I've lost this amount, I've lost my life savings, I've decimated my pension. It really starts to affect me personally because I know that it's these people who are claiming that you can make these types of returns that are causing it. It's not possible. So don't put yourself through the stress. If you want to become a trader, look at it as a long-term venture. Protect the one thing that enables you to be a trader, which is your capital. Look after your capital, use very strict money management. You only want to risk 1 to 2% per trade because then if you lose trades, you're only losing 1 to 2%. You don't need to make these wild returns. If even looking for between 5 and 10% per year, you start with a modest account, within 5 years, you can be a full-time trader. Now, people look at it and think, that's too long. What else can you learn to do in that amount of time as a career? If you go to university, 4 years minimum. If you go to an apprenticeship, 4 years minimum. If you go and start at the bottom rung of a company, you earn a small wage. You slowly work your way up. It takes time. So approach trading in the same type of way. And no doubt, lots of the people who claim this 100% nonsense are going to hit the dislike button on this video, and I'm going to wear that as a badge of honor for this video because I know that they're watching this video and they know that I know, and I've just shown you how to identify their lies. They're lying. You can't return 100% per month consistently. That's the way to prove it. Ask them the simple questions. Have you been trading consistently for 2 years? If they've not been trading consistently for 2 years, do you really want to be taking their advice? Do you really want to be learning off of these people? Absolutely not. If they say yes, ask them, well, have you made £33 million from a £2,000 account? And that's starting with a small account. If we start with a bit larger accounts, the numbers get even more ridiculous. If they're claiming 100%, why are you not on the Forbes rich list? Why are you not almost as rich as Bill Gates? Starting with a £2,000 account, sitting in your parents' house, trading for a couple of days, a couple of hours per day. Okay guys, as always, I hope that was helpful. I wish you all the best with your trading. I'm James Orr, and thank you.